anyway, let's talk about adjustments and alignment today. Yeah. So you can't really understand adjustments until you can understand the alignment, because the alignment is what you're always trying to adjust somebody into, if that makes sense. So if you can really understand the pose itself, as in how it's active and what's working and what isn't, and what is engaged and what isn't, it gives you a real foundation to go, this is how you do it. Do you know what I mean? Now, this is important to me because I never really teach a pose that I can't do. You know, unless I'll get in here and I'll try it and I'll think, oh right, this is engaged and that's engaged. I now know what is happening in the pose. Now I can go and give proper information about how to do the pose. You know, as in like, you know, you need to lock them shoulders in and you need to engage the core or whatever. So I never teach anything that I can't do. This is why we said the other day, I said, teach your practice. It's what you like, it's what you're familiar with. You know, you feel funky in your own practice. You do. So that's what I always thought. I thought, this is what I do. I get a lot out of it. Maybe somebody else will. You know, and I just carried on like that. But my desire to know more didn't stop there. I was this constant, like, you know, what information can I get next? And it was from all over. And that was, I mean, again, another good thing about Pranayama is that's accessible to you. If you can find something that's really going to make a difference to somebody, and it's, you know, and it comes into our kind of realm, which is now yoga, shamanism, kundalini, tantra, you know, all of this is this big bubble of Pranayama now. You know, where it started off as the school, it's developed of like, these skills work, we'll bring these in, you know, we're now into like life hacking and biohacking and all of these sort of things. It's like just pushing forward so much, but that's because Dashmir has enabled herself to step out of Pranayama and do different things and educate herself, and then she brings them in. You know, this was great, this is now part of our teacher training, or do you know what I mean? So it's a constantly developing thing. So I encourage you to keep on educating yourself, you know, from anybody. You know, you'll even if it's you look at something and you think, I'm never going to do it like that. That can be a bigger lesson than somebody showing you something. You think, oh yeah, that was good, and I'll do that. Somebody doing it wrong, and you're looking at it thinking, oh, you know. These are valuable lessons. So everybody out there, every class you go to, you'll learn something off somebody, even if it's a slightly different cue than what you've heard before. It suddenly goes, oh, I've been doing this pose for ages, and like that cue meant that I got it, you know what I mean? It was like, it made sense to me. That's why I think there's space for all of the yoga teachers, because we're all different. We all are just coming from my story, and this is what I'm offering. So everybody else is doing that. I certainly hope so. Any teachers I put out, I want them to be authentic and genuine, and you know, and put that out. So yeah. So alignment. You need to know the alignment before you can adjust it. Okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll just go through some of the stock poses, you know what I mean? The ones that are in every vinyasa. So, and then we'll do, because as we learn the alignment of it, we'll be able to learn the adjustment of it at the same time. Okay. And you might just have to be the guinea pig here.
I'm down.
Yeah. We're going to start with Warrior 2, I think it is. Yeah, or traditional. Okay, so you want to be, you want a good strike. So we're talking about the alignment of the pose here. Okay, so you might find a lot of people, you want to have, your mat is kind of, you can use as a guide. So you have this straight line here, and obviously a straight line there. So this back foot wants to be in line with that, yeah? And then this foot is pointing straight off the end. And you want this heel in line with the instep there, so you've got this sort of straight line from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then try and align both hips to that outside edge of your mat, so the square. So if you're tight in this hip, you're already feeling it.
Yeah.
Just that
Yeah.
is, you can feel that in the hip. So the next thing is that none of this moves. So the arms go out, and if you think, roll the shoulders down the back, and then flip your palms over, and then reach. So that reach carries on throughout the whole pose. It's like this middle finger is, you know, trying to reach as far as it can all the time, but the shoulders are down, and you're reaching from there. So that's active. You can feel how that is active, can't you? So the only thing that would then move is this left knee. So you just bend into that left knee. So if you can keep looking at the side of the mat, and are you in alignment? So if you pull your hips in like this, you might find that the knee does this.
Yeah.
And that is this rotation in the hip here. Yeah. So you better coming up a little bit and trying to roll that thigh out, and then working in from there. So you're always thinking this thigh is always kind of rolling to the outside, and that what that does is it helps support the knee. So if your knee has a natural tendency to turn in like this, and you just let it, I mean, you can see the hyperextension that's happening on the inside of that knee, and then the ankle is all over the place as well. So you're better coming up to here, and if that is your warrior, and your alignment is right, you better be in that position. The shoulders are down, the extension, and this front knee always wants to be either slightly behind this ankle, or at the very most on the top of it. Again, if it's not, you see how I start to hyper extend the front of the joint there. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Inhale up. So think, before you start, the alignment starts with head over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, and that means that you're up, standing up. So if you're like this, you're already, it might feel like a great warrior, but there it is, the spine is going this way. So it starts here, there, and then the only thing that moves is that leg, and then the head turns. Yeah?
Yeah.
So your cues is normally based around this leg, because this is the one where it's going to get injured. If there's any injury going to happen, it's going to happen in that knee because it's doing this or that. So it's always, think about rolling that thigh out, and don't let the knee pass the ankle. And then it's, see if you can square yourself and reach out. So Stephanie Woods, amazing practice. Does a warrior like this. Just this kind of like, but this is come in. And if you, the habit of doing that, and if nobody tells you, that's your warrior.
Yeah.
But it's not. This alignment here is your warrior. So I always like to think of mantra is the vibration that you put out, you know, to create whatever, whether it be healing or abundance, whatever it may be. So that's the there's some waves going out to you. Yeah. The name of the pose, so Virabhadrasana 1 or whatever it may be, that is the written vibration of the word. So when you say that particular word, it creates the vibration out of your mouth. So all of that is music, just vibration is just music. Now this is the musical note written on the page. So this is nicely in key. This is flat. It goes donk, donk, you know, this goes ding, donk, donk, ding, because this is not a representation of the thing. You want to be, your poses are all set the way they are and the alignment of them for specific things, to trigger things in your body, to open up passageways, to open up healing, all of these things. So when we move away from them, we're not getting the benefit of what the yoga is. I mean, the poses have an alignment and all of this for a reason.
Yeah.
And it links all the way back into like a Vedic medicine. You know, you're healing yourself with the breath, with the action and the movement and everything of the pose itself and yoga itself. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Stand here. I want you to do this way. Turn this way. And do me a warrior here. We're going to adjust this back.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 foot
Okay.
there, 1 foot there. And then,
Okay,
so you're
so-
facing out the window. So don't do anything, just let him do it. You go ahead and just do your warrior. Really impressive set of shoulders, isn't it? Okay, so this is a strong warrior. You'd look at it and you think this is a strong warrior, but there's a slight lean forward.
Yeah.
There you go. You feel that?
Yeah, straight away I felt it come
Straight
back.
away, like, so you can see now you've got head over the, oh, let me come around this side. So you've got head over the shoulders, over the hips.
Yeah.
And then the next one is if I try and square this hip round a bit like this.
Yeah,
You see how this, knee starts to
Yeah.
roll in.
Yeah.
So what you've got to try and do, like your adjustment would be to sort of like keep this active, is just that little
Okay.
pull like that, you know, you can just sort of like,
Yeah.
and that makes you go "Whoo," like that. And the other one is these shoulders down the back. But you can generally go, relax your shoulders down the back and just run your hand down the back. And that'll take tension out. You feel that?
Yeah.
Just roll your shoulders down the back. So it's like a roll. Let me turn you around so I can show that to the cat. You'll do the warrior on the other side. Yeah. There we go. So that adjustment is, it's literally just, you know, I just put my weight there, so just relax them down your back and then just run the hand down, and it gives this feeling of, and then there's the extension out through the arms, and then you're looking at this, so you can say roll this knee out to the side, and then, you know, there's a slight adjustment here, but if you come up a little bit out of that and then adjust there, so now we're kind of getting that back, aren't we? Where it just hasn't gone as deep into that knee. The further he goes into that knee, that more that will come around.
Yeah.
So this has to be Chris's warrior for the time being. Until this opens up, you can come out of that if you want. Until that opens up, and eventually he'll go, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 there it is. But if you start with the bad habit,
Yeah.
then that bad habit gets in and it gets in, and then that's just what you do. Where if you're thinking, what happens is the ego wants the perfect pose
Yeah.
in its mind. Like if it's a triangle, say, it wants that hand on the floor because that's what all the photographs look like. But that's the end product. There's not many people started yoga and just did that. You know, you have to remember, this is an opening up of your body that you do, and you know, you're slowly unraveling all of them habits and things that you've had all your life, which set in the length of your tendons and ligaments and where you're strong, where you're not strong, all them sort of things. It's just all of the things you've done to today. So, and like for me, when I came to it, that involved 2 broken backs. So I had to compromise along the way, think, well, if I can just keep the alignment and then try and relax on the exhales. And then I found that the poses came really quickly to me. The more I tried, it was like, you know, like this. It was like, it just wasn't doing it. It was just, the whole yoga thing wasn't happening because I was tense. I was not really breathing because to be where I was taking everything I had, you know,
Can't really muscle your way
sort
into
of,
them, can you?
Yeah,
You can't muscle your way
you
into
know,
them.
that's why it works differently to Any other kind of exercise, if you think of yoga as an exercise, I know it can be much more than that to people, but generally a lot of people are doing it just because it keeps them fit and it makes them feel good.
Supple.
You know what I mean? So you got to just start where you're at and slowly get into it, I mean, I thought there's so much I'm not going to be able to do because, you know, I've ripped my shoulder off, I broke my back twice, I've got no cartilage in my knees, I've broke both wrists, the list is just crazy. So I had this great book of excuses that were absolutely viable. You know what I mean? I mean, I could put them out there and you'd say, yeah, fair enough. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I just thought, right, do what you can. And now, after years, there's not much I can't do. Yeah, I mean, there is not much I can't do. And if there's something that I do want to do, if I put my mind to it, the body will do it now. Where before, sometimes just getting out of bed, it was like, oh, you know, you kind of roll onto your side and sort of come out and pick yourself up off the bed and then slowly start into your day, you know. So I'm just really grateful that at the beginning I had these limitations. I could have tried to push through them, but I was causing myself pain doing it. So the best thing to do was don't do that. Go to where you feel it, not where it's giving you pain or real discomfort. Just go to that area where you think, I'm working here, but I'm comfortable and my breath is still strong. If you're going in too far, your breath is gone, your yoga's gone. Once the breath is gone, you can be doing what you want because the breath is integral to your experience in the yoga. You know, it's what makes everything, you know, and your ability to do it is all in that breath. Doesn't matter how strong you are, you know. I mean, we go down that gym and there's some of them rugby guys in that come in and you just look at them and you think, powerhouse, you know what I mean? Powerhouse. And if they breathe, they probably do most of these things really easy. But when you stop breathing, then all of your fuel to your muscles go. And then the first thing that happens is the body goes into like a fight or flight of like, we're not getting enough oxygen. You know, so it starts to withdraw oxygen in, so your eyes get all like sparkly, you know, because they're not needed. You don't need your eyes to live, to stay alive. Your fingertips get pins and needles in them because you don't need your fingers to stay alive. So everything's coming back to the vital organs. And that's no breath. That's just no oxygen in your breath. So this is why it all sucks in. This is why, like these polar explorers and things, when it's so cold, all the blood is contracted in to keep the vital organs going. You know, the heat and everything in there, that your fingers and toes fall off because there's just no circulation down there. It's going, well, you know, we don't really need the fingers to survive. We can keep this going. And that's breath. You know, you get that breath going and it keeps the circulation, keeps the prana, the oxygen moving around the system. And then it makes your practice this smooth, flowing practice as well because it's directly related to your breath. And if your breath is steady and precise and strong, then you are in your practice. And that's why it's such a good mantra. In your practice, you know, if you think of your breath as your mantra, like as in just this repetitive single point of focus that you want to be focusing on that clears your mind out of everything else, it's, and just listen to that, listen to that, listen to that, listen to that. That's your single point of focus, which is all meditation. You're trying to get to that point where you've got that single point of focus where all the rest sort of falls away and then you're in your meditative state. So let's go from that to dancing warrior. We know dancing warrior, don't we? So we'll start in, you can be on this mat there.
This one?
Yeah, come on the bosses, mate.
Dancing warrior.
That's what super fairy.
Dancing warrior.
So we're in the warrior position again. So all of the same alignment that we had before is the same. Yeah? And then, so we're going into that one there. Okay, check your alignment, side of the mat, your knee, feeling good? Okay, tummy in. Okay, so there's a few different ways to go into this. I like to sort of take an inhale and then exhale, reach as far as I can, and then my inhale, this hand comes down and it gives me this big long reach up and over. Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, but you can do, you know, I mean, you can go straight over to it if you like. I just like this.
It makes it deeper, doesn't it? It makes it
gives
deeper.
me this bigger,
It opens it up as well,
yeah,
doesn't
it
it?
feels like I'm in this lovely flow of this
It's like a
as it
dance,
goes
isn't
forward and
Yeah.
in and up. And then you can, you know, you
Yeah.
come into them flows and stuff that we do. And
Right.
so, yeah. Okay. So, same alignment. Let's do that again. Okay. And then hip. So what we have to do with Chris, because this is solid, you know what I mean, he's a big old boy. So we have to just bring his awareness to that. So it's literally, I'm just pushing this hip forward and just pulling that back.
Yeah.
Now, if I can get his hip straight, he'll have to make the adjustment on that leg himself because he'll be feeling it right down the inside. Lazy with that arm shot. So yeah, keep that rolling out and up. So you would inhale, exhale forward, turn the palm, and then your next inhale, big sweeping up and over. Okay, so now he's there. I would be cueing to move into the front knee more. Yeah, so you stop breathing. So move into that front knee, and you're still thinking about that knee rolling out to the side.
Yeah.
So you've still got that alignment of heel to instep, hips are square. And now the adjustment from here, once you've kind of moved them into that front knee, you can take a hold of this top hand and say inhale. If you put your hand here, no, me. If I put my hand here, I can stop his hips coming back, inhale, and exhale, relax. And I can draw that arm, breathe, over his head. Now I'm keeping the hips pushing forward with this hand, but I'm pulling over here. Can you feel it?
Oh yeah.
See the sweat on it?
Yes.
Yeah. And then release and back up. Okay, so do that on the other side, and then you're going to adjust them on this side. So we know it's the same alignment as your warrior. Yeah, so you're looking at hips and chest square, the alignment of the feet, the foot position. These are in family poses. Okay, poses that go together really easily without you having to really do a lot. So we've gone to warrior to dancing warrior. It's an obvious move. Okay, so cue him in.
Okay, breathe. Raise them down. Exhale, sink. Okay. Just.
Yeah, that's it. Then shoulders down.
Just turn hip. Okay, so inhale, reach forward, flip the hand, exhale, turn over, and
Good
then
hand
from here.
right in the hip.
Okay,
Like
here.
that. So you're kind of pushing that hip forward. Inhale, and on the exhale.
Exhale.
Feeling it?
Oh yeah.
And then you can release him from that. So you can hold that. Once you've got him there, you're,
Yeah.
it's huge.
Yeah. Once
But
you're
I'm
there.
here.
Yeah.
I'm here. So sometimes with an adjustment, you can take somebody much deeper than where they can physically push them themselves.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, so, you know, they might be going, I'm really reaching over my head here. But
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's right up out of the side, right up and over. So these are the things in adjustments where you can take somebody's practice deeper than what they can themselves. So like Chris there, I know he's got a good practice under his belt. I think, okay, I can really move Chris into that, you know what I mean? I know he's not
Yeah, definitely. I want you to. I want you to.
Yeah, but then once you've done that, so my adjustments, so if you do that again facing that way, because I do a lot of the Thai stuff, I tend to, I don't know whether any other a habit I've gotten into of like, I use my feet
Yeah.
and things a lot because I'm used to using them in the Thai massage, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and things. So I use them to. So I will adjust Chris now into that same pose. So inhale, raise the arms, shoulders relaxed down the back, and then exhale into your warrior, then the front knee. So think of that, rolling that front thigh out, chest is lifted, lean back a little bit into this hand. There you go. Okay, shoulders are down the back. Okay. So I would say here, in a class, I would maybe take his arms and hold, you've got that little extension out there, and I would say inhale, and then exhale, move into that front knee a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
And I'll hold him with the knee like that. Yeah, and then from
I feel that
there,
as well.
inhale,
Good.
exhale forward, turn the palm, and inhale, bouncing warrior. Beautiful. So again, just move into that front knee, and then I would take my foot here with this, and inhale, and then exhale. So I can really.
It's like using the weight, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I'm waiting for the echo. Does it see that boop, 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 that I'm
Yeah.
getting from his hand?
Yeah.
That's Chris at his maximum.
Yeah.
What I don't want to do from here is go
Take it.
one of these. I'm waiting for that bump, bump, bump in my hand. And then inhale, come up and relax. So you feel
Feels good.
when a pose is super active,
Yeah.
it's like, man, I'm sweating. So I want you to come onto this and I'm going to adjust you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So you can feel.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
In front of the camera there.
Make a window.
Make a better door than a window. Come back to your water.
Okay.
Okay. So instantly we have a little, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah.
to there, and this thigh rolling out.
Mm-hmm.
You got that?
Mm-hmm.
So watch your shoulders, there you go. Inhale, exhale, reach, turn the palm, inhale, open, open. So good, feeling it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Let's turn this foot that way. Okay, I'll do this one first, inhale, exhale, relax. And inhale, come up. Feel that?
That was good.
Feel it, it's
So
intense,
much,
isn't it? It pulls right up out of the hip and all over the thing.
so much
But that's
more.
just a little, I mean, I wasn't yanking there, I'm just encouraging you to go into that space. Yeah?
I didn't feel uncomfortable either. It was just
So,
within
we'll see that again and I'll give you the,
Should I do it on the other side? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
square the hips before you start.
Okay.
Squaring that hip. And then I want this knee.
Oh, I feel like we'll come back.
Yep.
Okay.
In fact, I want that foot further forward. There. I want you to think this.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep your hips there and then square your chest as well. Yeah. Good. And then relax. Reach. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Turn the palm. Inhale. Big. Okay. So I can hold you there and I can move you in with that foot. And then this is like proper intense. Okay, inhale, exhale, relax. And one inhale, come up. Okay, so things to remember in that dancing warrior is that the alignment, you want to inhale and then exhale this hand up. So this hand never ends like this.
Mm-hmm.
This hand is trying to touch that window.
Mm-hmm.
it's like this, and the more I reach over there, the more this hand will come down. Yeah, so this arm, it's not, it's, yeah. So think all the time, all your poses are active, except things like child pose. That's, let go, do you know what I mean? But most poses are active. So, and one of the most active is downward facing dog. We think downward facing dog is this, downward facing dog, bump in it, and then back out of it. But there's 3 different directions that any energy is moving in your body in downward facing dog. Okay? And what I mean by that is when you come into your downward facing dog, you've got one line of energy coming from the back of the knee, pushing down to the floor like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then another line of energy from the back of the knee to the sit bones. So as they go down, I'm tipping my bum up into the air. So that's 1, 2, and then from the hands all the way up to my sit bones, I'm pushing in like that. The heels are moving down, and the tailbone is moving up. So I want you to do that now. You can come first, Soph. Onto this mat, because I want you to feel an active downward facing dog. Most people get to down dog and it's like, whew, and they're walking their feet in and out, and which is all good, it does open up the hamstrings, but boing, boing, boing shortens hamstrings, shortens calves, shortens everything. Trust me, I work with all of the cyclists and the runners and everything. That bump, bump, bump shortens. You see people doing this, like they're trying to warm up. It's just shortening your hamstring all the time.
Right, okay.
So when you're in it and you're in that active pose, you will be very aware of how long your hamstrings are when the pose is active. And so you've got this moving down through the heels. Now this is a thing of mine, is I always like to leave about this much underneath my heel. Yeah. So when I'm in down dog, I don't want to have my feet flat on the floor and like this, because there's nowhere for them to go.
Right.
So I always come forward a little bit. So I've always got that, I'm always pushing. I've got that last little
That's his room.
little bit to extend into.
Deeper.
Do you know what I mean? And even that there, I'm pushing that down. You can still, you probably get a piece of paper underneath that heel. But I feel when your heel is on the floor, that's the end of the extension of your calf and Achilles. So if you can work that little inch and a half to move down into, you can really lift up in the tailbone from that. But this is another one. It's pelvic floor is lifted and the tummy is in into them hands. I mean, and you want to be pushing the weight right through the hand, and that pushes it right up through the body. So it should look like a line that goes up like that and down like that. But if you tighten the shoulders, a lot of people's down dog will kind of be like this. Because they've got this tightness in the shoulders here. Yeah. So let's do that. So firstly, you can feel, this is what a down dog feels like. It's like, I have to work to be in it. This is the thing about active poses. It's the ring on your musical note, Yeah. Okay. Downward facing dog. That's impressive, isn't it?
Fair play.
Okay. So adjustments you would do here is you would maybe push into the hands to say push into the hands. Yeah. You roll the shoulders open like this. Yeah. And then you've got these moving down towards the floor here. So again, I like to use my feet, and then you can take a hold of the hips, inhale and exhale. As you relax, I'm just going to lean back. So I'm not pulling you as such, I'm just using my weight. You feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so hold that there. And another adjustment I would do is I put my hand here at the lower back, yeah, and I'm pushing, inhale, exhale, and pushing into that.
Oh, that's,
You
yeah.
feel that?
Yeah.
And then this left hand would go inhale and exhale, in like that. Keep breathing. Yep. And then relax, come out, child pose. So pretty active, isn't it, when you feel it? It's like, oh my God.
Makes such a difference.
Yeah. And when you're doing this,
Yeah.
you're not getting that big extension through the hamstrings and into the glutes. This here kind of will determine all of your yoga practice. If you can get this strong and supple, everything goes off that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once this is open and supple and strong, all this stuff is really easy once your base is set, your foundation of your pose. So this is why you want your alignment, is because that's your house that you're building. Your alignment is your foundation. The foundation is what you build your house off. If you build little skinny foundations, your house is going to blow over in the first wind. Yeah? Okay, so can you do down dog for me?
Yeah, okay, give it a go.
And then you're going to sort of like
Yeah.
guide him through this. Oh. So we have all of the things we talked about here. Walk your hands a bit further forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so your heels come off the floor a little. Yeah. Okay. So you can see, can't you? We want the hands to be pushing right into the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, you can do this like this. Push into the hands, thumb side, little finger side. And then roll them shoulders in and push into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see how that opens up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then this first adjustment would be hand here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking,
Your stance, yeah.
my stance is, you want to think boxer's stance, because the boxers are the hardest people to knock over, because that's the one thing they don't want. So think, I'm stable and firm here, because that transmits to Chris. If you're coming in all wobbly, he'll really feel that. So you plant your knees, hand on there, inhale, exhale, you push in, and then exhale, and open his shoulders up like that. So you can hold him there. Now, good one with Chris is he's got this slight little bend here in the knees.
Yeah.
So if you support the ankles like that, inhale, and then exhale, just use your weight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. And I'm not pulling, that's just my weight leaning back.
Yeah.
And then I can release, come down to child pose before you have to do it again, and then Sophie's going to adjust you. So all them little things that you're looking for is, what isn't that perfect picture, that perfect in the book picture?
Yeah.
Because that's your alignment always, and if the pose should look like that. So what you're always trying to do is encourage people to that alignment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do down dog again, and then Sophie, walk your hands forward a little. Just give your heels a bit more space off the floor. It gives you somewhere to move into then.
Okay. So breathe in and exhale
Drive into this one first.
into this
Yeah,
one.
you're kind of pushing them
Breathe
hips
in.
right the way towards the back of the mat.
Exhale.
There you go. That'll make them sink into the legs more.
Breathe in. Exhale.
So there's another adjustment in this. Actually. Carry on.
Okay.
Just what I'm thinking. Dashima does it a different
Breathe
way.
in. Exhale.
Go down to the knees themselves.
Go down to the knees.
Yeah.
So down.
That's
more.
where the bend is, yeah. So
Okay.
you want to straighten where the bend is. So you're lifting the thighs. It's really, he's so strong. That he's like, you know,
Okay, breathe in. Exhale.
there it is. Feel that?
Nice.
Yeah. Double adjustment with the eye help as well.
Okay,
Inhale
breathe in.
and exhale.
Wow.
And child pose.
I have to use all of my body.
Yeah, just to move them. I mean,
Yeah.
generally, you're not going to be greeted by a mountain like this. You know what I mean? Generally,
Wow.
you know,
Some difference that though.
Yeah.
you know when
Some
you
difference.
feel it
Oh,
active,
yeah.
it's like, oh, there's a whole new
Well,
world
like you say,
going in there.
I've kind of fallen into the habit of just paddling my toes. Just paddling my toes.
It's well, the thing is, every teacher
completely
tells
stealing
you
away
to do
from
it
it.
these days.
completely stealing
I
away
do
from the
it first
spectrum,
one.
don't
I do.
First down dog, take the dog for a walk.
Yeah.
You know, walk the heels up and down a little bit, roll the shoulders, and then every one from that, I'm looking at that. Heels are moving down, tailbone is moving up, pushing into the palms, which drives this up, and letting my head just hang.
You can really feel it in the lats, can't you? When the alignment's
Oh.
up, it comes right through and right down the
Yeah.
lats.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. So we'll now go, so that's a goodie because obviously you've got down dog a lot in classes, and you generally can keep people in down dog
Yeah.
for a few breaths as well. So we'll go from down dog to just a simple forward bend.
Might sound.
Yeah.
What's that going to look like again? It's just
Feet together, that's it, yeah. Just feet
Ah.
together,
Hang
forward
over the
bend.
body.
so full bend.
I'll show you one of Dashma's adjustments.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what?
Right. Then just stay
Just
there.
relax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's good. Let the head hang.
gravity.
Okay. So this is another one. Now I would use, personally, when you're stepping into somebody's space, he's firm and everything is happy because he's put himself there so he feels good. So as soon as I'm stepping into this, I have to be his foundation. So if I step in and I'm all kind of thing, he'll feel all like that.
Yeah.
So this is what I use, like so my legs and things like this, is that I'll step in here and I'll support the back of the hamstring there, the back of the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see how my feet are
Yeah.
wide apart, so I'm not like this.
Sturdy.
I'm sat in, and then I'll bang into that, and then inhale, and then exhale. Yeah.
So you're pressing with the
I'm
knee.
stopping that knee. So if that knee's not there and I push him there,
Yeah, he's going.
he's going down. So if I hold him with that knee, and then with both hands, now generally you've not got somebody this size. Do you know what I mean? So Dashima would, at this point, she takes her knees into the shoulders like this, and then the hands come to the back of the hamstrings like this.
Oh, right, yeah.
I can actually lift them off. Inhale, and then exhale. I'm going to push my knees forward
Oh, yeah.
and draw him in like that. I can actually just lift him up off the floor at this point. But like, because he's mine, now you see how, come on. Now you see how I'm his foundation.
Yeah.
If I wasn't strong then, I tried to do that, we'd both be on the floor.
Yeah.
But I'm set, and I'm holding in, and as I pull the hamstrings, I'm pushing the shoulders in with my thighs.
Surprising how much room there is there as well. You've got me there, Joel.
Wait till you wake up tomorrow, but you'll be like this, oh my god, my hamstring. Okay, so you see, you want to go for that adjustment?
Yeah.
So if you see there's a couple of adjustments you can
Okay.
do there.
I want to try both.
Yeah?
So.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lift him up though. It's too
You never
much.
know.
Right. Inhale.
You're going to have to,
Okay.
because he's big. Generally, if it's someone like yourself, you'd be able to do it with your hand, but there's a bit of movement needed here.
Inhale. Exhale.
There it is. So you see how your thigh, when he wants to roll back, you're actually just holding him with your back leg. If you took that back leg away now, you'd both fall over.
It's a bit
Yeah, it's a bit
unsteady.
unstable. So come round to the front, and then you want knee either side of his head, so that's it there. So stand up straight,
Me.
come close. So, and then your hands are going to come around onto the hamstrings like this.
Okay.
So as you pull the hamstrings, you bend your knees
Ah.
in. So your knees, this is supporting like your back leg was, but this is now pushing them in. So inhale,
Inhale. Exhale.
feel it. Feel that in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's strong.
It's a solid.
This is actually probably easier because I've got like both arms around.
Well, this is when you're somebody so big.
Yeah.
Somebody small, like yourself, I'm quite happy to hold that there, and I can do all of that pushing with my own strength.
Yeah.
But when Conan walks in the room, you've got to, you know.
Yeah.
Handle it.
This is a guy who you're going to have to move him into it for him to experience it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's so big that he'll just stay there all the time. Now today, his practice will go, because he now realises he can go, I can go that much further, and I can reach this much further over my head.
Everyone we've done so far.
Yeah, so these little adjustments, they're
Amazing.
they're little confidence boosters.
Yeah.
So as you give the confidence, you know, as you do the adjustment, people go, oh, I could get right in there. That was fantastic. Okay,
Yeah,
so we're going to go for, there's a similar adjustment between triangle, side angle pose as well. Yeah? So if you do this, we'll give you a rest.
Cool.
Yeah, drink some water. So we're going for, which one do you want to?
Triangle.
Okay. So think of your alignment of these hips. See this sneaky hip that just keeps on
It doesn't
sneaking
keep,
around?
yeah,
It
it
just
does.
sneaks on, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
And then turn that foot this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. So think that alignment, yeah, and then raise, relax your shoulders, reach. So inhale, you're going to reach as far as you can again. And then from there, windmill the arms open and down. So what you're looking for in this alignment is, like, if I was looking at you head on,
Yeah.
I should be able to just see an arm, your head and the front of your leg. You know, but you'll often find that this hip rolls forward. You can see it's rolling forward a little bit here. And this arm's like
back.
Yeah. So think, reach through both fingers, active. Yeah.
Oh, kick.
Yeah. So now, because of you're in a proper wobbly position, I need to create a stability for you before you do that. So I'm using the outside of my thigh muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mainly because you just don't want to walk into anything crutch first.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so I'm using this outside of my thigh and I'm putting that against your leg, and then with this hand I'm going to roll this hip open. And it's hard to adjust you because it's like so close to being right. Yeah. So if you imagine that you were leaning forward a bit, this is somebody in the class, you would lean in like that, and you would, as you push that hip away, you pull open like that. Yeah? It'd be better to show on the big man. Now you've had a rest. Yeah? I want you to do with your back to me.
Okay.
Just so...
so, triangle.
yeah,
Yeah,
straight
straight
legs.
leg.
Straight legs.
Engage down.
Everybody's favourite.
That way is it? Right.
Well, this toe facing the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That foot square. Yep. See, we've got it here. There's a light leaning forward there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks mint. But if I look from here, his head and his hips are out of line.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking to do is, I'm using the side of my thigh, because what I want to do is make sure he feels stable.
Okay.
So once I'm in there, I can move him backwards and forwards because I've got a firm foundation which is transferring over to Chris. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to take a big inhale, exhale, relax, and as I push that hip forward,
Whoa.
I'm going to open him up. So you can see how I've got this hip on this hand, because I don't want that hip just to roll forward. I'm keeping that there, pushing in with that hip and rolling him open like that.
Yeah.
And once I've got him there, I can say turn the top palm and extend the arm over the head. Yeah? And I've got him basically, you know what I mean? So I can hold him there until I say, and everybody come out.
Yeah, so he doesn't.
So you can hold him there for that pose for the length of it. And everybody else can be in it. And you can say, and come out and walk back to your mat. And let's do that on the other side. And then you start moving through to the other side. But you feel it? Okay, so I'm going to do it and I want you to adjust me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm purposely going to do it wrong.
I was going to say, you better give me something to work
Yeah,
with.
I'm purposely going to do it wrong because I want you to, one, get me in the right place before I go there.
Yeah.
So you're seeing, like, yep.
Okay.
I'm going to do it at the back.
Right.
Oh.
So straight legs.
Yes, I remember. Triangle.
Okay.
You'll see this a lot.
Can I just lift you up a little bit?
Yeah.
Does
So
that
this hand,
so
right, once you get this hip
yeah.
into there, so you're not pushing me, step back, step it to where I am, yeah, and then take a hold of it,
Yeah.
or even better, this hip,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and then you can
Yeah.
push me forwards and backwards, get that good bend in your knees,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm going to come forward like this. So this hand, keep that hand there, and that hand there, and this hand, bring around here,
Okay.
and pull my whole torso rather than the arm.
Okay.
Yeah. So you push in, and
Push
then
in and then push that.
this hand, get that hand back on me hip,
Oh, right, yeah.
and use this hand
To
around
push.
my arm to,
Oof.
sorry, pull
That's
me
okay.
open. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you feel how you've got me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That feels a lot more secure as well.
Let me go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to do it. I'm going to adjust you so you can feel the adjustment.
Okay. Which side should I go? I went that side. I'll go this side.
Warming up, huh? So we have this slight, this is a thing, isn't it?
It's
It's
the
a thing.
hips, yeah.
So I'm going to just support that, like that.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah. So as I push and pull them, and then what I can do is I can, say, open the body like this, and then turn the top palm, exhale, over the head. Now reach to them fingers. Feel that? And then bend the front knee. Inhale, come up.
Okay.
So you see how I'm actually creating the foundation
Yeah.
to step into. And then you're always looking for that alignment. So side angle pose, which would be sort of, well, there's a couple of things with this. Is this here is kind of where I would start people off.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to get the hand to the floor, get to here and get this flat. Yeah. So how you do that is you push that hip forward and you draw this shoulder back, which opens the front body up here, keeps that Shashina Nadi long, and then this hand can just reach straight up. So if you're like this, the hand will never reach up there because the shoulder has to be pointing in that direction for it to go up. So you tend to get it up to there, kind of this would happen into the shoulder because your shoulder's facing that way. So the only way you can get your hand to face up is to do this. And then all this happens. So this is why I say when you roll the shoulder open, the thumb open, see how the shoulder disappears down the back. And when I roll it forward, it comes up. So I always think, this is me, roll the palms open. You hear me say it all the time?
Yeah.
Roll the palms open, inhale, reach up. So if I don't, and I just try and reach up, you can see all these deltoids, trapeze are all like cramping in on my neck. And it's because the shoulders are in the way. So if I roll the shoulders all the way down the back and then roll the palms open, I can raise the arms up like this. And there's nothing there.
Yeah, it creates more room.
Because the shoulders are actually down the back and away. But from there, you know, I can still reach up,
Yeah.
but the shoulder's moved around and out of the way. So that's one thing you're kind of looking for, is this thing, and that's generally someone's trying too hard. So you might get them like this, where they can go like this, but when they do this,
Yeah.
this happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you would be better staying here for a little while and thinking, can I open that hand or a block,
Yeah.
yoga block? That's what I did. I had a yoga block, took it everywhere, blocking a belt. And so yeah, when this happens, then you've got to be really working into the alignment of it. So we'll do that again. So that's that stepping in, and then you can really get a hand underneath the shoulder, and as you're just keeping that hip forward, you're just thinking of rolling that chest open to the alignment. Forget about the hand on the floor. Think about the alignment. If the alignment's right, the floor will come eventually. But the mind is going, floor! You know, and you're confronted with just things that you've I mean, that is, when you look at that, there's no representation of the pose at all. So, you know, it's just the wrong note.
Yeah.
But if it's in a straight line, if you're looking at me straight on, I should be in one line.
Yeah.
So you should just be able to see one line. You shouldn't be able to see like this. I should be, you just see the shin, the arm, the head and the arm. The rest of my body is hidden behind the alignment. So you're always looking to take people to that alignment.
Yeah.
And if that means lifting them out of it a little bit, their ego might go, one of these, but you're doing them a favour.
Yeah.
You know, so do this, before you know it, you'll be in. Okay? So let's do, love this one, child pose.
Child pose.
Child pose! Child pose! Child pose! Oh, that was my voice, wasn't it? January.
Yeah.
Okay, so things that I cue in this is take the knees wide apart so your belly can just relax between your legs. This is one of the poses where you get to let that you know, just all the bangers go. You just, you know, it's a complete surrender. But if your knees are in, your tummy is against it, so it doesn't get to just relax. So that there is totally relaxed. Yeah. Looks like he's loving it, doesn't he? Oh, okay. So things I would do in this would be, I would try and bring his hands a little bit closer together like that. And then that same pose for down dog, the adjustment in down dog is very similar to this. So you're kind of moving the hips backwards and the chest down.
Okay.
Yeah? Either side of his elbow, so they can't go like this. So all I'm not actually pushing on there, they're just there. So when he tries to bend his elbows, he can't.
Okay.
So we keep this opening up in the shoulders. So it would be inhale and exhale, and you're just pushing down like that. Inhale and then exhale. And then that really sort of gentle child pose turns into something where all sorts is happening. You feel that?
Oh yeah.
And then you can come back up. So another one that I've seen Dashma do here is, if you do that again, Chris.
Yeah.
Dashma will just come along and just sit down on you like this. I tend to not do that because I'm about, 13 stone. And Dashma's like tiny, but you can feel that, can't you? Just that.
Yeah. Nice.
So if you want to try and adjust them in that, then your elbows a bit crisp. There you go. So you do just walk them in. There you go.
Okay. So breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale.
That's it. Feeling that?
Oh yeah.
I think I want to sit.
Gonna go for it.
I want to use all of the weight of my body
Yeah,
because he's so big. So
Go for it.
inhale, exhale.
Yeah, just grab a cup of tea.
Oh, that's nice. I feel like waiting there, so.
Yeah. So I want you to come forward into puppy dog pose, which is this one.
Right, okay.
This will be a killer for Chris.
He's got tight
Because of the
shoulders.
shoulders,
Yeah.
So one thing I sometimes would cue in this is if someone's really tight like that,
Yeah.
lift up a little and just pop that underneath the chest,
Okay.
and that takes some of the out of it, because this is intense.
Yeah.
In the top of the shoulders here, because most people never ever use that. I'm going to take that out just for, and the adjustment exactly the same.
Okay.
This time I'm going to try and walk his thumbs together. He's going to hate me for it. There they are. So again, it's inhale, exhale, lean back, inhale, exhale. Feel it?
Yeah, right.
So I'm kind of pushing back when we weight that way,
Yeah.
and I'm using my arm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all my weight is pushing him that way, and this, and my feet are stopping, his elbows moving out, and then up.
Okay.
So have a little pop of that.
So inhale and exhale.
John. John. Feel that, big man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then relax, and then you can just lie down for a minute, Chris.
Wow.
It's big, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
When you start getting pushed in and moved into it, especially if you're doing it where you're guiding them with the breath. A lot of people just come up and just give you an adjustment and go, but it really needs to be on an exhale, because the exhale is when the body
Gives, isn't it?
lets go.
Yeah.
The inhale, you're inflating all the time, so it's active. As you exhale,
It's more room as
it's
well, isn't it?
yeah. And that's all yoga is. It's create the space before you move into it. So this is why the tummy comes in, because if I leave my tummy out and I have this really healthy one pack here, that when I try and just fall forward, there it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's already against my legs. So what I'm trying to do is lift all of that up, and like you can see how that's gone, and now I can come all the way forward, and my ribs will touch my thighs, but I can still run my hand through there. So I've created the space. It's like when you do your twist, lift up through the crown of the head and then twist. So you want that length in the spine and then the twist. So I'm thinking we should do some standing balancy ones.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're tricky.
Yeah.
These are not so bad. They're on the they're on the floor. But when someone's on one leg,
Yeah.
what do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're going to do half moon.
Oh.
Half moon.
Oh. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, look at the O on yoga.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is, see, we've had this little thing, and the hip is really exposed here. You see how it's really quite forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the arm, the shoulder's trying too hard. That's just one
To
of the
balance.
blocks there. There you go, amateur. There you go, amateur. Okay. So yeah. So you're thinking, you want to be thinking about rolling this hip open. So you can see how already just in the standing pose, you're wobbly yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I have to try and create some form of security for Sophie. And again, it's the side of the thigh. I'm going to stand on that foot, and then I'm there.
Yeah,
That's
got
it.
ya.
And then from there, I can say inhale and exhale, and I can draw you open. I can roll that hip open, and I can lift that arm up. Yeah. You see how I'm moving the hips forward and pulling back here.
Yeah.
And this foot on your foot makes you feel stable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can get rid of that block now. Yeah. And you can be open like that. And I can hold you this arm up. Yeah. And then feet together. Forward bend. And slowly come up. Feel that?
Yeah.
So I want to do it with you, so I can show stuff. And if you back to me,
So, which way am I going now?
it doesn't really matter. Whichever way you want. Do you want the block?
Uh,
It's there if you need it.
let's see.
Okay. So you can see they're already
Yeah.
wobbly. So if I step on that and bang my hip into there, and then take a hold of this thigh, again, Chris is mine now.
Yeah,
You know,
that's it, super stable.
I'm his foundation now.
Yeah.
So as I move the hip forward, I'm going to just basically try and create a back bend. So I'm pushing that hip forward and drawing that shoulder back. You feel that?
Oh, aye.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then release. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm basically trying to bend his body around my hip,
Okay.
which will open up his front body.
Yeah.
But this, super
Yeah.
important.
Okay.
And,
Bending. Yeah. Boxing stance. Okay.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, shall I do go the other way now?
Yeah.
Yes. Think balance.
Is it that way?
Yeah, so yeah. Anybody like? We have the legs. So, this foot
That foot.
in. Yeah, bend the knees, and this hand comes right over and onto the thigh. You're pushing in with that hip, and this hand is there. So as you push in with the hip, lean back and pull them open. You feel that, Chris?
Yeah, yeah.
Feel strong?
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
Stable.
You can see that. You look stable. So you've got your feet, you're driving into that front foot. And
It
then
feels solid.
you release the back leg, say, bring your feet together,
Bring your feet
and
together.
then release the front. And then he comes down nice and still. So you feel that?
Yeah,
You
good.
feel it?
Yeah.
So the important thing is the stability I give you.
Yeah.
You feel, you know, because when somebody comes in and they're wobbling about and you start all this, next thing is you put your feet down, and the whole class is going.
It gives me the confidence to
What the-
release as well, because I
What?
can feel you've got me, so
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna
going to go with
fall
this,
over,
as opposed to thinking, and tense up,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good.
Want to do me?
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So. Ooh.
Oh, got it. No, other foot.
Other foot.
Yeah. Feel how that feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Your box is feet. And how would you release me?
And lower the back leg. Bring the arm down. Forward bend.
So you see how you're like, as you're moving, you kind of open up, because most times in yoga you'll find this is closed
Yeah.
and this needs to open, and that then will get the spine long, which is that Shishyana Nadi, which is where all the info is going up and down. So, yeah. So this is very similar, but instead of pulling back, you're lifting up.
Okay.
Yeah. So same again.
Ooh.
So you see, even without me, there's a thing. So you need to create that feeling of security. Like there you go. So this hand is under the thigh, and I've got your elbow. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that?
Yeah.
And like I say, she's really solid because I've
Stable.
got that
Yeah.
boxer's stance, knees are bent and come down. Yeah, you feel it? So
That's
it's
good.
very similar. There's that connection. I've got both. I don't want one leg straight because that's a post I'm going to fall off.
Yeah.
I want,
Right, yeah.
I want this.
You
Yeah.
I
almost.
want to be able to move from toe to toe, move my weight from one foot to the other, and I feel stable in both. If my feet are really close together, I'm going to think. My legs are straight, I'm going to fall over. If they're bent, I can adjust myself, which puts the feeling of security into the person that you're adjusting.
Yeah.
Okay? Here it comes. Here it comes. You're on, Soph. Should have got a smaller boyfriend, it would have been much easier.
Okay, so
Over foot.
over foot.
So,
Sorry.
it's alright.
Alright.
Alright. Yes. So you see how I'm square on?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I step in.
Okay.
Yeah. And I come in like so. I come in
So
from
where
the-
where were your hands on me?
I'm stepping in onto there, and then I'm putting one hand under the thigh and one onto the thing, and my hip is on there.
Okay.
So inhale, exhale,
Okay.
and I'm just lifting. And German.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shall I do it?
Yeah. Inhale.
There it is. I'm all yours.
I lift.
All yours.
Okay, and lower the back foot.
Perfect. But you see how I left the back, and I thought, oh, but because you still had me,
Yeah.
I could come down and I could
Okay.
get really dizzy really quickly. So you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that foot onto the foot
Yeah.
stops their foot doing all of that. So you instantly stabilise. Boxer's legs. So you want to move from, be able to shift your weight from one foot to the other and feel like you're really stable. And then that's your base. From there, get that hip in,
Yeah.
and you can move the weight to your back leg, and you're still strong, and you come forward into that front leg. So you kind of got this movement. It's this thing of creating confidence.
Yeah.
I don't want to come up to somebody and say, I'm going to adjust you, and then it's both end up lying on the floor, because it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do some seated poses.
Okay.
Our good old friend, the classic seated forward bend.
So let's cross the leg straight.
Straight.
Straight, we'll
That's
go
straight.
first, yeah.
Let's go for it.
Hell yeah. Okay, so we have a tightness in the hands, which we know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be feeling this down in here, are you, Chris, when you do this? Hamstrings
here I
and
can feel
this
it right in
lower
here.
back, yeah. So, first I'd like to get him to just let his head hang,
Yeah.
because that then lengthens the spine out a bit more.
Okay.
So I would maybe start down here. So I'm clamping the hips with the knees, and then the hands are on the back. I'm not pushing down, I'm kind of pushing forward and down.
Okay.
Yeah? So I can hold into the back here. Inhale, exhale, relax.
Yeah. So you're like pushing
I'm
away.
pushing forward, not down. The down thing will happen. Yeah? Now what you can do from there is you can lie onto the back of them, and you can maybe try and push them knees down to the floor like that.
Okay.
Which is intense probably. Is it?
Yeah, it's a bit like.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other one, which we might do with me, but you would sit here, like this, yeah, and then you would lie over the top and reach for his toes, like this, and then you could straighten your arms, your legs as well,
Yeah.
and then you get this lovely back bend yourself. And pretty soon he's going to have to stop trying to hold me up, and he's going to relax, and it'll come to him, and it'll come to him. But then as we both inhale together here, so you're going to sit up as I do, Chris, inhale, lift. I just come down, and he isn't really lifting me because we're moving together. You don't feel like I'm suddenly having to lift him up.
No, that's
because
all.
I'm sitting up as he is,
Yeah.
and I just come down to seated. But that is intense, is it not?
Yeah, it was, yeah. But when you got me and put my knees down, I was like, whoa. Not like bad, but it was like, feeling it.
Okay, I'm going to give him a rest. You're going to do it to me.
Okay.
So you'll find if you're doing this with somebody who's quite flexible,
Yeah.
you want to ask them to open the feet a little bit, because they'll probably end up with their head through. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're like this, you get to your torso and there's no more adjustment for you to go. You're just squashing them into the legs. So, like for myself, I'd say just open your legs a little bit. Yeah. So.
So inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
So lean your chest on me at the same time as you push down. Yeah, just dropping your body weight on your base.
Okay.
Do you want to try the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So it's the back bend, yes?
Yeah.
So inhale.
Yeah, a little bit higher up. That's it.
Inhale. Exhale. Ooh.
So take your head down. So you're getting a pretty intense back bend there
Yeah.
as well.
Put my legs up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to inhale, and you're going to inhale. So you get quite an intense back bend in that. That's kind of part of the Thai partnery yoga stuff that we do. So you've got a lot of that in Bali when we've got that whole 30 days to do. We'll do a lot of the partner stuff and a lot of things like that. But you learn a lot from the Thai and the partner stuff. You learn a lot of where people are and things, especially Thai. You learn this, it's an echo. It's like you move them, inhale, exhale, and you move, and there's a kickback. They call it the echo.
Yeah.
It's like, so that in the person who you're moving is their limit. So what you don't want to do is get to that and go, oh, and then come back. You want to get them to there, bump, right, you're staying there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to push you past that,
Yeah.
but I'm going to hold you there. And then on an exhale, you're going to relax.
Give.
And then you'll relax, and then it will come to you. But what you're looking for is that little kickback. It's like, they call it the echo, but it's like, oh, you know, because you're going, I'm going into where I'm not sure. Yeah, so, okay. You're not sure, but you're here. I'll hold you here. And then maybe 1, 2, second exhale, I can move you. And you'll feel it yourself, that let go that you do when someone says, and exhale, relax. And suddenly,
That's nice.
there's this whole, opens up for you. So it's kind of this, like, build the confidence up. Okay, so turn around, cross-legged forward bend, but this time feet in butterfly.
Okay, so feet
Yeah.
like one.
No,
Oh,
both
just
together,
both.
both
Yeah.
together. Yeah. So inhale up and exhale forward bend. Okay, so this is the same as stabilising the hips with my knees. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale, and I'm moving forward, not down. Yeah. Keep creeping your fingers forward. Yeah. And then from there I can lay my chest onto you like that. Yeah. And then if I really want to intensify it, inhale. You're feeling twitching already on the anticipation.
Oh.
Inhale. And then exhale, relax. You see that? Feeling it?
Yeah.
And then inhale. Come up. So it's intense, isn't it? It's an
It's very
intense
intense.
stretch,
Well,
especially with the hip opener as well.
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel double jointed.
Like a bag of nails is what you feel like. Okay, Chris, you're on. Seated forward bend and then butterfly forward bend.
So, what do you do? Butterfly?
Whichever one first, it's up to you. She's got to
Seated,
adjust you both.
just
Seated and then forward bend.
forward bend.
This one.
Yeah. Okay.
So you remember you're thinking that forward.
So just drop your head.
That's it.
Inhale. Exhale.
That's it. Now just let your weight do it now. Once you've got him moved, you get your weight and then bring your hands onto his knees and then just gently draw the knees down towards the floor. Don't feel afraid just to let this lie in there.
Yeah, I kind of want to use more of my...
Especially somebody huge, like, you know, because he needs that to move the skeletal structure. Feeling that, big man?
Yeah, man.
Good lad. That's the one. If you pull them toes back, it's into the cards. Intense. Good.
You did really well.
And then into butterfly.
Butterfly.
Four bend, yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to move this one.
Can we go far here?
Before you do the knees,
Yes.
you're thinking from here forward.
Okay.
So start like that, move your whole body forward. So your elbows tuck, that's it. Moving forward. And then sneak up and lie on his back. Yeah. And then, once you've got him there, walk your hands further forward, stop, try and hold yourself up. And then, with your hands, leaving your body weight on his back, gently on an exhale.
Okay. Inhale. Exhale.
That's the real deal right there.
Oh.
That's it, let him out. Let him out before he cries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Intense?
Intense.
Intense.
But nice now.
So while you're down there, I want you to put this foot on the outside of the knee. We'll go into some twists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's going to twist towards the camera. You know this one where you put the elbow on the knee and this hand around the back.
That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah. So what you're trying to encourage here is this long spine. So you're always thinking lift up through the head. Now this is one of them as well where I have to kind of get my knees in because if I pull him, he'll just spin around. So I'm trying to create a kind of a foundation here where I'm putting in and then I've got one hand behind and this is right on the front of the delta, like the fingers are into that.
Okay.
That's my gripping point. See
Right.
it?
Yes.
Okay. So inhale, exhale, relax. So I'm just pushing and pulling. Yeah. Biggest twist ever in the world ever. And as long as I hold him there, I mean, look, it's his own breath now that's relaxing.
Yeah.
That's not me pushing, I'm just holding him there. So wherever he relaxes to, I just hold him there. I don't let him come back to here, keep him there. And then relax, turn all the way around, have a little counter twist. So you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much more room there is. I'm getting to here and it was
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
and I'm like, where's this going?
See,
It's mad, isn't it?
this is where adjustments are really handy
Yeah.
because you can further someone's.
Yeah.
Now you know now.
Yeah.
Your mind knows.
Yeah.
I can go all the way around there. So your practice won't be the same after today.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing.
You know, it won't be the same because you know that there's like just that twist
Way
is
more
like
room.
2 or 3 inches further
Yeah, yeah.
just with that thing. So now your mind is going, I can, and then you know that's when your parameters start to do this, and all of a sudden your practice is coming to you and it's coming to you. Do you know what I mean? So you want to try that? Just do it on the other leg.
Yeah.
So set yourself first. Don't be in a rush.
Okay.
So this is, you really want to drive through that, and then you'll feel here. That's
Yeah.
it. And then spread your fingers out wide, and that's your gripper.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you really pull back with this and push forward with that one on the exhale.
Breathe in. Exhale.
There it is. So just hold him there. You'll notice on a couple of exhales, he moves with you now. You see that?
Yeah.
What you're doing is just not letting him go back to the old habit. But you can see how this is working into the alignment of the pose and everything, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
And now his shoulder is in line with his knee, which is in line with his foot, which is in line with this back hand. Yeah? Release him out before he goes ping. Before he goes ping.
Wow. That's nice.
Skin spoiled.
Treats tonight. Treats.
So you see, what you're doing with your adjustments is moving to alignment.
Yeah.
You're not just doing it because if
Just go as
someone's
far
in
as you
nicely in alignment, they don't need adjusting. They are the musical note on the piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
All they have to do is breathe and not get distracted by other people in the room, and they're in it. Do you know what I mean? Now, most people, if they're out, you're thinking, just straighten you up a little bit here. For a moment in the class, they're thinking, oh my God, you know, oh my God, look where I am.
Yeah.
And then they come out of it, and you can, so likes of the standing ones, I'll tend to not go to one person and then go to another and then go to another, unless the first one I go to just goes, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'll move around. But basically what I'll do is I'll say, right, okay, I'm going to adjust Chris here. And I'll go over to Chris, and I'll step in, and I'll adjust it, and I'll hold that for as long as the class is holding it. Because if I let go, he's going to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll just hold him there, and then say, right, and everybody relax. And as they relax and bring the feet down, I'm already back to my mat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if, you know, I mean, you've seen me teach. If I'm not on my mat, I'll just do it here
Mm-hmm.
and go inhale and exhale, and I'll do it like right next to you, facing the empty mat. So I'm not thinking, gotta get back to the mat, gotta get back to the mat. You don't have to get back to the mat, you just have to teach the class. And this is that verbal cueing thing, helps you go and forward bend, lift up and exhale, and then and inhale, come all the way up, and you're back at your mat then. You know, so you've bought yourself that bit of time. But I'll also, if I adjust Chris on one side, he's getting the adjustment on the other side as well.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's balanced.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to come in and go, right, there you go, Chris. Oh my God, that was amazing. The whole right hand side feels amazing. Left.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, yeah, I want to balance. I want to balance him out. So I'll do it on one side, and then I will definitely go to him the next time, or whoever it was the next time. So you get that opening up on both sides. But like I say, you know, if you go to the first person, like the seated ones, you can adjust someone, you can get up and you can move over, you can adjust someone. The standing balances, they're so shaky that you just need to create the foundation, hold them there in an extended pose, you know, even say, you know, well done, keep breathing, keep breathing. Okay, everybody, bring the back foot down, forward bend, and then you're moving to your mat again, or whatever it is that you're going to teach next. You can teach it from where you're standing, but you know, people like the security of that mat. Nothing bad happens in this mat. People don't even phone me. So it's like that thing. So I'm trying to think, is there any adjustments that you want to, that you can think of? Because we could go over these all the time, but we're into 2 hours of these adjustments now. And I'm trying to think, what's in the exam first? Let's find out, just so we know what's in the exam, so you know you can answer them questions.
So,
And we'll have once we've got these done, we'll have a tea break.
need to know
You know,
how to adjust in downward dog, how to adjust in puppy pose. We've done both. Should we do warrior 1? Because the hips and
yeah, okay, let's go. So I'm going to tell you, you know, my secrets that I have about the shoulders and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so this back foot, right, determines what's happening with my hips, not my hips. Okay, so if you look at my hips, and if I turn that back heel out, see what happens to my hips?
Go forward.
They go forward. They
Yeah.
want to go forward because that's the way they face.
Yeah.
But if I roll that ankle out
Mhm.
to square, that's where they are.
Yeah.
So this is the difference between warrior and warrior. This foot turns like this, so it's slightly out, driving through the heel, and then from there I can think, square my hips. So again, I'm thinking this is my front edge. I've turned this heel out, and I'm not like this either. Notice I've got hip distance apart, and then once I get to here, I mean, just that foot turning in, my hip is still this way, so there's an element of where I have to draw this hip back and push that hip forward. And again, the knee doesn't want to go over the ankle, it's either above or behind. So I'm then driving my hips to face the front of the mat, which means if you look how active that leg is, it's driving into the foot. It's not just, I mean, every muscle in that is pushing that heel down to the floor, and everything is pushing into this foot. You can see that legs are active, and then that gives me a foundation to move forward from, and then I can raise the arms from there. So I'm thinking all this all the time. But if that back foot is square and in line, you're wobbling. But if you turn that foot out, you'll feel your hips move. And there, see, there's your alignment, you can feel it. Look, there's your 2 points. So you've even gone a little too far. So that's that. So it's all in that back foot. As long as this back foot turns, so will you. You turn that way. See how they work though? I mean, it's just the back foot. It's just that swiveling of the feet. They're telling you where the hips are going. These are the tricks that nobody tells you.
Yeah.
A little bit of info like that, you can think, why isn't their hips facing forward? The back foot is like this, and they're trying to turn like this with this back foot out. We'll just turn that out, and there you are. Okay, so that's your alignment in that. Feet your hip distance apart, you're driving through the back heel, punching into the front foot. That's your stability then, that's your base, your foundation. And from there, the hundreds and thousands every time. But the base, foundation, yeah. So do that. Come on to this man. Firstly, let's just start as if you were doing warrior. Yeah, and I want you to do that swivel from side to side thing that I did with my feet. Straight. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So go from side on, face the side of your mat. Yeah, and then turn like that. Yeah, to the side of your mat. Turn like that. See how it's moving the hips? So that's what you're looking for, that swivel. Yeah, feet this foot out a bit. It's a bit close.
Yeah.
There you go. Now as you drive through that back heel, punch into the front foot and think you're squaring your hips. You feel it? Yeah. So my adjustment would be as simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then see how your shoulders move.
Yeah.
So hips that way, shoulders straight, open the up palms, inhale, reach up. And then I would say exhale into the front knee, lift up through the hands. I can create a back bend there. If it was Chris, I'd have my foot in his back and I'd be yanking him. And then up. And then prayer twist. Yeah. So your prayer twist again, I'm going to step in like this. And I'm opening like this. So I've got your hip here. And I'm just opening that up. Yeah? Let's even take this foot, hand to the floor. And this hand up. Yeah. turn and reach over the head. Beautiful. Bring your hand back up, bring it down to the floor, bring it on your own.
Nice.
So you feel that?
Yeah.
How that back foot makes all the difference on where the alignment of the hips are. So if you're dealing with a foot that's out of line, everything else is out of line from it, and your experience is,
Yeah.
I'm trying to push into this.
Yeah.
So if I do a prayer twist, you can just try and do that. So this foot, take it away. What you want to do is just put it there. You're not pushing me. You just want to put it there, right? So that doesn't affect my thing. Now, once you start to twist me, you're kind of bending into that knee to stop my hips pulling back, and then it's all with the hands. Okay. So whenever you're ready, that's it. Right underneath.
Do you want to drop your hand to the floor?
Yeah. I want to help you out with your foot. You're on, big man. Your front foot is always misleading you.
Why? Why is that?
Because it's throwing you out of balance.
Okay.
So go down,
So this left leg down.
whichever way you like. So you're trying to do this,
Yes.
yeah?
Yeah.
Where I'm doing this,
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah? And then he's just there. And then from there, I'm in, inhale, exhale, relax. Yeah. And really, I'm stabilising the shoulder, and all of it is happening through here.
Yeah.
You feel it?
Oh yeah.
You've got more room there as well.
That's right.
Like space
When I
between
step
you
in
and
like
him.
this,
Yeah, you've got.
my balance is,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So I'm in,
Yeah. Yeah. I see.
solid legs, and then I've have a base to pull them against
Yeah.
that I'm not going to feel, because I'm nowhere near him, I'm over here,
Yeah.
and I'm just pushing and pulling open like that.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
release. Yeah, so if you do that on the other side, and then you try that way. There's so much to learn.
I know.
Yeah, so you step, that's it. You're just stepping in there, right underneath, that's it. You feel better, don't you?
Yeah.
This hand
On the shoulder.
is pushing away as that one pulls, so there it is. So you feel better, don't you?
Yeah, feel more
So,
grounded.
yeah,
better.
yeah. I mean, that's the important thing, because that you're transferring that over. If you feel nervous, they will know. Well done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well done.
Can we do one more?
Yeah, we can do many more.
So, you know when you're in a lunge and then you extend the front leg, I'm always a little bit, what are you doing with your hips here,
Square.
squaring them,
That front edge of your mat,
and then,
and then this is just moving forward. So this is a tricky one to adjust because it's like a kind of a bit bouncy.
yeah, because,
Yeah.
so,
And the other one is that it's a hard one.
yeah,
People are tight in their hamstrings. So if I was going to adjust you here, I would probably, again, stabilise your hips. Inhale. Exhale, gently walk your hands forward. Yeah? So just hold it there. Yeah? Let's see if we can square the hips. Roll that shoulder down. Yeah? Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Yeah? So you can just put your hand on the back like that. And if you want to intensify it, the other hand can come back and bring it from the back of the knee to the calf. You see how I've got you held here?
yeah,
So I'm stabilising your feet. And I'm not really pushing there. If I did, I mean, she could go much further. And then release. Bend the front knee. You're so happy you did that, aren't you now? You should do it on the other side.
I was
because
just
it's,
thinking that.
It's really big, that stretch.
yeah, okay,
You see how I use my body
Yeah.
to create the foundation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking squaring them hips, and then I'm going to try and stabilise them. So inhale, lift, and exhale, walk your hands forward.
This one's a lot tighter.
She gets all cockney, don't she, when she gets all tense. Inhale. Exhale.
Oh.
Oh. And inhale.
Oh.
And
Yeah, loads.
huge.
Yeah.
Anything else I can think of? We've done the twists and things like that, haven't we? So we know, and from the tie that we did in the garden, we know about that clamping in and helping people with these twists.
Yeah.
So that's basically transferred. That knowledge from out there in the tie gets transferred into here of like, I need to be very aware of what's happening with you. Can't just go in and go, right, you know what I mean? I'm going in going, okay, this person needs to feel stable because we're all in a bit of fight or flight most of the time anyway, and people don't want to be embarrassed in the yoga class.
No.
You know, when you both fall over.
Yeah,
Because I've seen that, you know what I mean? Like somebody trying to do a twist like this, and they're all the way over here, and that person is, you know, so say it was like side angle pose, back here, pulling the arm and pushing the thing. Of course you're thinking, oh my God, you know what I mean? I'm going to fall. And even if you don't, your experience is, I'm going to fall. This is not what you want in your yoga class.
No.
People want to feel like, he's going to adjust me. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to get an adjustment. That's kind of what I want to be putting out there. Is like, because I don't do it often. I pick my times. Unless I can see somebody that's really going to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
But you know, because you come to my classes, is I will verbally cue you. Because it's different in, like here, you've got to practice, and when I move you, you go, oh, that was amazing. I can feel that. You know what I mean? Where, because you've already got a neural network in your brain of what a warrior is, and what a this is, and what a that is. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I go to warrior, bing, 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 and you're in it. That's a neural network in your brain, you know? So you're trying to establish that all the time. Now, if you go in and people are all wobbly, you crush all of that confidence that they've done, and then they're not sure about that pose, and they're not, or they're thinking, oh my God, don't come and adjust me. That's another thing you don't want, is your students going, oh, don't adjust me because we're going to fall over, or I've seen him. So I always think you've got to be really confident in it. Now you're in a good position where you have this mannequin here that you can really practice on. And you have to, I mean, you can't look about when you've got somebody that size. You've got to step in, trust your own strength and your base, and move into it. You know, I know he'll be helping you a bit in that because he's a nice guy. But the truth is, when you start adjusting Chris, anybody after that is easy. Easy. Do you know what I mean? And just to move Chris's mass, you know, and it isn't a criticism or anything at all, you know, I mean, I'd settle for a body like that myself, you know what I mean? But the truth is that it needs moving. You know, it needs moving. Where it's good to practice on somebody that's like, who does need adjusting as well. You can go, and then you're getting good feedback because he has a practice. You can go, oh, that's like 1,000,000 miles further than I've ever gone before, or you know, it feels amazing. You know, so think alignment. What does the pose look like, and is that what you're looking at? You know, we've all read enough books, seen enough Instagram posts, done everything, done enough yoga to know what the pose should look like. And that's alignment. If it looks right, it's in alignment. Then from there, you can go, okay, I can adjust them into the alignment. Like you see Chris, he's like there on every pose. But this, oh, that's the bit I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know, just that little bit on Chris, and it's like, it feels like, oh, to Chris. But just them little things moves in. So you think you're never moving them past the alignment. So if it's an opener up like this, you don't want this hand flicking about up here. You're just moving them to the alignment of the pose, so what the pose should look like.
Yeah.
So even if they can do this, you don't want them to do that because they're moving away from the alignment, the musical note on the piece of paper. It's now representing something else.
Yeah.
So you're always looking for that. What does this look like? And then, right, okay, I know that arm isn't quite straight, that knee is turning in, and I can just, and even verbally cue that, can you just lift up a little bit and roll your knee out? And you hear me do it a lot in the classes, I verbally cue, because what it does is it creates the neural network in their own mind. So they have to go, oh, roll my knee out, bink, do this. So they're more likely to create a strong neural network which will do the adjustments themselves by asking them to do it, and then you can go, okay, well, you know, they're doing this now. Now I'll step in, and can you really feel that? Oh my God, yes. You know, so that's what you're thinking. You're thinking, what does a pose look like? And you know what a pose looks like because you've got a great practice of your own and everything. So that's what you're looking for. And if somebody isn't in that alignment, they're either trying too hard or they're nearly there. They're trying too hard, you're thinking about lifting them out of it a little bit to where the pose goes into alignment. You know, so sometimes it's like lift up out of it, you know, and come from here. So you're not having to pull and push. But then you have Chris who's like, God, you're looking at it thinking, this much for like a moment of, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like to them twist, like to them twist today. You moved into them twist 3 breaths, and every breath you went deeper, and you went to your full twist in the off, but because you had that thing, now your neural network knows I can go further than I have been now.
My lower back's over the belt and works. I'm a bricklayer basically, so everything I'm lifting around is getting dumped in here, you know. Yeah,
classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and it's all bent over.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, which shortens the hamstrings, the glutes, and you know, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so happy?
Yeah, happy. Thank
happy
you.
With your adjustments and alignment?
Yes, thank you.
That was amazing, mate.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
No worries.